Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to get raw as war on this shit. October 20th, 1997 retro review, I should say. This was somewhat solid show. It wasn't the best Monday Night Raw episode I've seen compared to what they've been doing lately on Peacock. This was an okay show. I did reiterate some of the things they mentioned in October 13th episode. But overall, this was not a bad show at all by any means. It had the solid build around what it needed going into Survivor Series, which I believe took place on November 7th or some shit like that. I don't remember. This was not a bad show at all. There was some matches that were good, some matches that were shit. So let's go over it and get through all this. So let's get right to it here. I'm going to upload the match card. Go over with you guys the match card and what happened here. So give me 1 second. I should have pulled that up earlier, but hey, sometimes I don't always do everything perfectly. Just one moment. Still trying to get to it. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm getting there. Sorry about the wait. If you're sitting here, just skip through the video until you get to the part where I officially have gotten where I need to be. If you don't want to wait, I understand. So, no harm, no foul there. I'm just trying to get through here real quick to get to the match card. Alrighty, yep, I selected the wrong one. Alright, so here we go. The very first match on the card was the Nation of Domination, Kama, Mustafa, and Rocky Maivia defeating Ahmed Johnson and Ken Shamrock in a tag team matchup. That's pretty much what happened here. It was a solid, okay match. Nothing special took place. I believe The Rock was the one who got the pinfall here. Let me just double check that. Yeah, Rocky got the pinfall. And then this eventually led to a brawl. The Godwins came out of nowhere, hitting the LOD with the trash cans. And that was pretty much that. So it was an okay match. Nothing special, though. I mean, it wasn't super duper terrific. Vince also hypes up a former WCW champion that will be on the show tonight. And it was Jeff Jarrett, actually, who discussed his opinion and stuff that took place. Backstage, Michael Cole is standing in the Nation of Domination's locker room where it has been severely vandalized and trashed. There's Canadian flags and Canadian rules amongst other black stereotypical items spray painted on the walls and everything. This has to be the work of the Hart Foundation, right? I mean, who else could it really be, right? But truthfully, if you really think about it, it had to be the D-Generation X that set this whole thing up to fool the Nation of Domination. Not to mention the Hart Foundation's been having issues with the Nation of Domination to begin with. So why not do that and convince them that it was the Hart Foundation that did it? Back at ringside, Farouk and Nation of Domination, mainly Farouk barking at Vince McMahon about running a racist company. That's no doubt about it. Vince McMahon's probably one of the most racist people walking on the face of the earth as a promoter when it comes to pro sports. Farouk continues his rant in the ring while the crowd continues to express the Rocky sucks. Out comes and he requests Bret Hart to come out and face him one-on-one. So a non-title match with Bret Hart going up against Farouk was a good one. It was not bad. There was a lot of chaos and confusion going on. D-Generation X was up on the stage. They were showing off signs saying that Vince McMahon should spank China, and Shawn Michaels was saying that he would rather spend a day in China, meaning China the wrestler, which was funny as hell. Then Stone Cold Steve Austin shows up later on in the match, stuns Stone Cold Stunners Farouk, and Bret Hart gets the cover for the 1-2-3. Very entertaining spot here. A lot of good shit happened. Complete chaos and insanity occurred during this match. I really enjoyed this one. So, we also have Jeff Jarrett show up. This was probably one of the best shoots I have ever seen by Jeff Jarrett in his entire career. He goes on a complete tear about the entire WWE and WCW, saying they're both shit, even though, yes, he was with both of them and worked for both of them multiple times, which I thought was hilarious. So, Jeff Jarrett was on Monday Night Raw 2 weeks ago, and this week he's on Monday Night Raw. First guy to make the switch to WWF. But he shoots on Bischoff, saying he did everything in his power to bury him by putting him in the ring with guys like Steve McMichael, all because he wasn't one of his boys. All he wanted was an opportunity. Jeff Jarrett goes on and says that he left the WWF for the same reason 2 years ago, because he was being buried by giving him a goofy country music gimmick. Someone just threw a scream mask onto the announce table, which was fucking hilarious. And then Jarrett chastises Vince for putting in the ring with a clown and a drug addict and a black man who couldn't even speak a bull of English correctly. Jarrett thinks Vince is just determined to bury him because he couldn't kill his father's business in Memphis. He says Vince paid him a bunch of money because Vince needs him for ratings. Jarrett tells Vince to take my baby tonight and stick it up his ass. Jarrett then makes fun of top stars like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and even Stone Cold Steve Austin for using the 316 from the Bible to make profit off of it. He found that to be very disrespectful to God, which I don't really particularly consider that. Honestly, I think he was just trying to be funny and make the gimmick a little bit more interesting. And I don't see anything bad about it. So, I mean, didn't see anything insulting towards God in that sense, just because he used 316. So, okay, whatever. He tells Vince that he he's now got the real Jeff Jarrett, and he hopes he's worth the headache at this point. A lot of stuff being mentioned in this promo that reminded me a lot of Bray Wyatt and CM Punk. Reason being is Jeff Jarrett constantly mentioning that he couldn't get over in either one of the companies, yet he stayed relevant regardless of the fact that they constantly try to bury him, both of the companies, both WCW and WWE, which is what Vince McMahon tried to do to Bray Wyatt twice. That's one. And two, he was also mentioning about being a headache to Vince McMahon and vice versa. Vince McMahon mentioning he hopes that WWF doesn't become a headache to Jeff Jarrett, which I found very interesting. Very, very interesting stuff. I know it's coincidental, but still, I kind of found it to be funny. Next thing on the card was Mark Marrow going up against Brian Christopher, one-on-one in a singles match. Brian Christopher ends up losing the match. Mark Marrow actually low blows him and then hits a TKO for the 1-2-3. During the match, though, there was an altercation between Marrow and Mark Marrow and Sable, by the way. Sable was trying to advertise or highlight the Stone Cold Steve Austin baseball cap, and he didn't particularly like that. He thought that was a little annoying back, on the outside of the ring, and he just threw it in the crowd and looked pretty pissed off at her, which was slight distraction and almost cost him the match, but the low blow helped him and assisted him to win the match and got the 1-2-3 over Brian Christopher. Jerry Lawler came in the middle of the ring and almost tried to save his son from losing the match, but unfortunately was a little too late. So big deal on that. We go to hour number 2. This headlined with the very first match of the second hour with the WWF Intercontinental and European Champion Owen Hart and Shawn Michaels title for title match, which didn't really take place at all. It was a no contest. Bret Hart looked like he was going to win the match, hit an enziguri, and was about ready to look like he was going to go for a win here, but out came Stone Cold Steve Austin, jumping the rail and getting in the ring, and the referee, Jack Doan, actually stands in between Austin and Owen and receives a Stone Cold Stunner for a no contest finish, which again, Stone Cold Steve Austin was all over the fucking place on this show tonight. Well, not tonight, but on this episode. And then after the distraction of the stunner to the referee and Austin just kind of leaving the ring, Owen Hart ate sweet chin music with the referee obviously out. Bret Hart runs down and punches the crap out of Shawn until DX runs down to save their guy, and Shawn and Owen would have a better match on Raw in December, which I don't have a fucking clue what happened there because I'm not that far. I'm not that far in the episodes yet, so I don't know. Anyway, so we see The Undertaker. He has a segment. He's asked if he's ever going to accept the challenge by Kane and Paul Bearer to face him one-on-one, and he refuses to do so. He says, "I will not face my brother." He does not seem to think that that is something that's the right thing to do, especially with it being the fact that it's flesh and blood. So he doesn't deem the idea of those two going at it as something that he should do. It's not respectful, and he thinks it would be a dumb idea to do. Which case, after that segment, Dude Love gets attacked by Kane, gets chokeslammed, not once, but twice on the steel stage. Yes, the ramp is made out of steel, folks. We don't have those little light bulb floors that you normally see in WWE nowadays. I'm pretty sure you're very aware of that by now, but just thought I'd throw that out there just to be funny. But yeah, Dude Love gets attacked by Kane. This match never even takes place between Davey Boy Smith and Dude Love. And that's pretty much that with that segment. Near the end, Mankind actually challenges Kane at Survivor Series. Well, he doesn't mention Survivor Series, but he challenges Kane one-on-one in a match to go one-on-one at any time that he feels to get froggy and want to jump. Later on, this is announced that this match would take place at Survivor Series, so that's when that match is going to happen. We also get Road Dogg and Badass Billy Gunn. For the first time ever, the Outlaws, before they were part of the D-Generation X, and Road Dogg and Badass Billy Gunn team together for the first time and defeat the Headbangers in a one-on-one match. They actually hit one of the Headbangers in the head with a boombox. And the boombox shatters all over the place. He's bleeding like a stuffed pig. Road Dogg gets the 1-2-3 for the team, and they walk away victorious. We then get Taka, or I think it's Taka. Yeah, Taka versus Tajiri, one-on-one. Nothing special here. Taka actually gets the 1-2-3 with the Moroki driver. That was pretty much that. Cornette actually had a segment on the show. He's been having segments for the last 3 weeks since I started these reviews. So he goes into another edition of Cornette's commentary, giving more crap to Phil Mushnick for speaking his mind about how he feels about wrestling fans. Everybody doesn't have to like us, Jim, but he has his own opinion, and he basically states it off, reads a few letters that was written to Phil Mushnick's directly, stating that he thinks what he had to say about wrestling fans was very insulting and disrespectful. Most importantly, they don't feel that that them being interested in professional wrestling is all that bad of a thing, because they're not committing crimes, they're not causing bad contribution to the United States and the way of life in this country, which I found very interesting. I think that's stuff that we could maybe talk about on these shows, and maybe AEW should go about doing something like that. Maybe bring Jim Cornette on here, have his own segment where he could talk about these kinds of things about pro wrestling and stuff like that. I mean, he has his own YouTube podcast, I believe, but just to see him on AEW Dynamite and cutting his own kind of promo, if you want to just do that, I think would be kind of cool. But it's not really necessary or very important to do. I just think it would be kind of interesting to see him cut promos on Vince McMahon and about the wrestling world in general and how the fans are and shit like that. I'm sure he's talked a lot of shit about how he feels about pro wrestling and that he thinks pro wrestling has become absolute garbage. I don't think he likes anything about pro wrestling except for the stuff they used to do back in the old days. So, I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't be a good take to have on a Dynamite episode or some shit like that. But I found these segments that he's had for the last 3 weeks that I've reviewed and watched to be pretty entertaining stuff. Godwin's faced the 8-Ball and Skull from Disciples of Apocalypse. This was nothing entertaining whatsoever. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. This was by far one of the worst main events I have seen outside of maybe a Braun Strowman versus Big Show match to headline Monday Night Raw when they had other matches that were better than that shit. So, whatever. I don't know. But, that was pretty much it. And like I said, Mankind at the end of the show requested to challenge Kane in a one-on-one match, which later on November 9th for Survivor Series of 97, that match is going to take place. So that's pretty much it, guys. That is the whole entire show in a nutshell. This was not a bad show. It wasn't a terrific show. But it was pretty damn fun and entertaining stuff to watch. I have been watching WCW Nitro, but I'm not going to review that on top of this. That's just way too much content that I would have to review. So I've just been keeping it strictly WWF Raw is War since this company still exists. But I mean, if you guys want to hear about the Nitro over Monday Night Raw is War, let me know. I'll definitely start doing those over the Raw is War episodes. If you guys enjoy this instead, by all means, I will continue to do that. But whatever the case may be, I am more than happy to provide you guys retro reviews. I see that these reviews are getting over 10 views per week, so I'm satisfied with that to continue to keep giving you guys reviews on this stuff. Now, granted, I understand that 15 views or over 10 views per week is not exactly a very high number compared to what other channels on here on YouTube do, but it's a lot better than being under 10 views per video. So if you guys are still interested in maybe seeing me do Nitro reviews instead, let me just know. I'll definitely do that. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to do the Raw is War reviews from the 90s and give you guys my opinion on that once a week. I may start watching multiple episodes per week and then just upload them as I go. That may be something I might do. But for right now, I'm just doing one video per week, and I may watch multiple episodes throughout the entire week and then just do a review per week and then, do it like that and upload them every Monday and have a series of different videos. I'll see about that, but right now it's just going to be one video per week, and that's pretty much where I'm leaving it at that. If you like this video, of course, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below about this review and this episode if you happen to watch it on Peacock or remember the episode for that matter. Anyway, guys, I thank you very much for watching. Have a great night. Bye.